What up, everybody? This is Mitch Durrell, and before we get into the video, okay, just hear me out. I got 3 huge favors to ask, okay? 3 typical YouTube favors, okay? So one, can you hit the like button, okay? The like button, just that little thumbs up. You can just click that real quick. We'd appreciate that. Second thing, can you hit the subscribe button, okay? I know it's a lot to ask. I know you subscribe. You know, you're really, really stingy with who you subscribe to, but I promise you will not regret it if you could subscribe to us. And the third thing, if you could hit the bell, just so you'll be notified anytime we post anything, okay? So those 3 favors, I'll be forever indebted to you. I appreciate it, okay? And while you're at it, if you could go ahead and go and check out my guys at tbk247.com as we change the culture for God. Peace.
You fine, bro. You're perfect. So right into it. So tough question off the bat. What is, for lack of a better way to word it, what's the story of like how you became a Christian? Were you someone, I was born in the church, so I kind of was always part of it. Did you find God later in life? Were you born into the church?
Yeah, nah, I actually was not in church at all, but my mother, she got saved around when I would say maybe I was like 15. Mm-hmm. And so growing up, obviously, you know, I saw my mom caught up in a bunch of different things or whatnot. And so for us, in a single parent household, moving from apartment to apartment, project to project or whatnot, hearing that my mother was now a Christian was just like, I couldn't really compute it or whatnot.
Right.
Now, when I was 15 at this time, I've been wilding out or whatnot, but I tell people all the time, I did not understand what was going on. Like I saw my mom, like her behavior started to change in a sense, you know what I'm saying? I know she definitely was more conscious about certain things that she would do around the house or what certain things that we would do. She started taking us to church. But and I still didn't really understand because I had no concept about what church was prior to this. All I knew was that something happened to my mom because I saw it in her life and I knew something happened. So around, so, you know, obviously that didn't necessarily change my heart. Right. And so I kept, you know, just wilding out, me, my brothers, my cousins or whatnot. And I want to say maybe when I was about 19 years old, I was just on YouTube, and I tell people all the time, I was on YouTube minding my business and God interrupted my life. He interrupted my life, bro, because I was like doing my own thing. I was not looking for him. And I heard this YouTube video of this guy just preaching the gospel. And granted, I had already heard, quote unquote, the gospel in church that my mom had already been taking me to. But that particular day, things just started making sense. And you kind of just understand that, like, oh, it was God working, like the Holy Spirit was working. And so for me, it was around that time, it was around like 18, 19. And I want to say maybe about the next year or so, I was introduced to Christian rap. When I was introduced to Christian rap, that was fine, right? That was cool. But for some reason, for me, I needed community. Yeah. And I remember crying out to God and I said, man, God, like, I need other people who look like me, who dress like me, who talk like me, because the people at my church were older. It was definitely a cultural divide. Not so much, but just a big difference between me and who the men in my life who were discipling me. And so, which was fine, but I just needed like a community of my own. And so I remember crying out to God for that around when I was like 20. And lo and behold, that's where I had met actually one of my guys named Kato. He hit me up. He had just randomly just met me and he was like, yo, I want to introduce you to some guys. And then I remember we hung out and then we went to this apartment, and in that apartment is where I met KB, Second Chance, and OV, who at the time were just some group of guys, but we ended up forming HGA maybe about 3 months after that. Right. And so that was the community that I grew up. And so that was like where I was learning how to read the Bible, where we were kind of like learning how to like be Christians, quote unquote. And that was it, man. So from there, obviously, you know, I went to Bible college. I ended up joining the church, and you know, this is where I'm at now, man.
Very dope story.
When I was younger, I would say, like, you know how we all go through this identity crisis type thing when we're younger.
That's good.
Yeah, kind of like you don't want to be like
friends, indie friends.
Oh, okay.
So
do wonders like AI anomalies.
I know that, right? Saga, who was
rap on the same beats. You're definitely more lyrical. So like you're not.
I actually knew a guy in Miami that he was going to the same.
And I tweeted like last week that someday I'm gonna have a song with him. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. So